Hello. Okay, next tutorial. This tutorial is meant to be for another creepypasta character, Smile.Dog, or Smile.Dog, or Smile.jpg. Yeah, it goes on and on. But ultimately, it's meant to be this creepy, grinning dog, and yeah, it's been requested an insane amount of times in the past. So I'll flash on the screen now the first few people that requested it. Obviously, I can't flash the name of everyone because it would go on forever, but here they are. But the very first person that requested it was Brooke Steele, if I'm pronouncing that right. I'll pop your name there, so thank you so much. Thank you everyone that requested it, but you're the first. With this makeup, I kind of took creative license on it a little bit, because the original images are just incredibly hard to make out, and it's just this blurry looking smiling dog, like Jeff the Killer one. So I hope it's okay that I chose this colour palette, and yeah, I mean, it's meant to be messy, but this like creative, organised mess. So yeah, I hope that's okay. So yeah. If you'd like to see how to recreate this weird smiling dogginess, stay tuned. So to get things started, I'm going to block out both my eyebrows, so I'll pop a link here to a tutorial that I've done in the past to teach you guys how to do that, just to make this video that much shorter. So I'm going to block them out and get back to you. So once I've done that, I'm just going to quickly talk you through the prosthetic that I'm using. This is the reason why I've not done, it took me this long to do Smile.Dog, because I was trying to think of a way I could film it, and yeah. So what I've done is, just so more people out there can do it, rather than make an actual mould of a prosthetic, I've made my prosthetic just out of layering up liquid latex. So just like the dog nose and the grin, yeah. I'm not great at sculpting, so forgive this, but I sculpted the basic piece on a bust of myself, covered it in several layers of liquid latex, and then removed it. What I'll do is, at the end of this video, I'll show you a time lapse of me sculpting the prosthetic, just so you can actually see what shape it is roughly. But yeah, so that's what I've got, and I've stuffed it with cotton wool so it's bulked out. And yeah, so I'm gonna apply that over my face. I've got nose hole, so I can obviously breathe, but that means I won't be able to talk, so I'm going to do the rest of this with a voiceover. So to stick the prosthetic down, I'm using Pro Stick, or Prozaid, just a medical prosthetic adhesive, and I'm just applying that to the edge of my prosthetic. Then I just press it down, making sure all the edges are super flat. Then I'm taking liquid latex and a sponge, and I'm just going to apply that around the edge of my prosthetic. About 3 layers should do it, just so that there's no seam at all. And then I continued the liquid latex all over my face, because I'm going to be building up the brow area. I might as well have blended the latex down to my cheeks as well, because that way there won't be any discoloration with the latex and watercolour. So then I took some tissue paper, which I've torn into, so I've got the thinner halves, and I'm going to use this to build up my brow to make it fairly angry looking. So the idea is I apply latex, push the tissue down, remove the edges and saturate it. That way I can build up the brow, maybe about 5 to 6 coats, letting it dry in between. It does help to push the brow inwards with your thumbs to make it look angry just as it's drying, and then it sets in that position. So there we are, nice and angry looking. So then I took some Snazaroo Clown White and I applied that all over my face. I'm not going to bother with my neck or my ears just yet. I mean, my ears are going to be covered with a wig, and my neck I'll do last, I think. But this works as a good base for the other colours to adhere to. So then I took some red Snazaroo watercolour and I used that to apply in a fairly weird fashion. I tried to match the image as much as possible, where it's got concentrated red around the nose and the mouth area and the bridge of the nose. Then I took a new fluffy brush that I slightly dampened just so I could manipulate the colour, and I was able to move that all around my face, making the overall tone quite red. But I went back in with some more red watercolour in the areas I did initially, just to make sure it really does stand out, because although we want it to be a uniform colour, we do want that red to shine through in certain areas. Then I took a black Snazaroo watercolour and I used that on a fairly fluffy brush to go around my hairline and on my bridge of my nose slightly, just to add a bit more texture in there and a bit more extra colour to make it look like it's like a flash from a camera, so you want like certain areas to be highlighted. Then I took another fluffy brush that I slightly dampened just so I can move that colour around as well. Then I took some more Snazaroo Clown White and I used that just to apply some more highlighting down as the areas that I started with, down the bridge of my nose and underneath my eyes, and yeah, I'm trying to match the image as much as I can. It does take a fair amount of layering up this look, so you've got the different layers and different colours shining through. Then I took the black Snazaroo watercolour again and I used that to go over and under my eyes in a fairly rounded shape, because we want it to look, I want it to look angry, but I still want it to look a bit like the eyes are static and there's just this huge grin. I took another brush with a tiny bit of the white foundation, white cream colour on it, just to go around the eyes, just to blend that colour out as well. So when I was happy with everything, I took some fake acrylic nails, and not too big because I want them to look fairly tooth-like, and I'm going to apply them over the top of the sculpted teeth area that I've done into my mould, and I use some Pro Stick to stick them down. I'm trying to keep them as straight as I can and going quite far back, so really exaggerating the smile. I didn't bother cutting them, these teeth, because it says in the story that they were fairly human-like, which is one of the creepy elements to the look. And once I had them in place, I took some liquid latex again, and I just went over the edges of my new teeth, just so I can seal them in, just to make sure they're extra secure. Then I took some red Snazaroo watercolour again once it had all dried, and I just went over the edge of the teeth just to blend in the latex and to make the mouth area extra red and gruesome. And then I went in with the black watercolour just to define the teeth and go down the centre of them all and the sides to make them stand out a little bit more. And again I went in with a fluffy brush, and a slightly damp fluffy brush, just to blend out that red that I applied around the teeth. I don't want to blend it too much. I want it to go around the nose area, but I want the concentrated red still be really apparent around the mouth. And I also extended it up the bridge of my nose as well. And then I took my good friend, my black hairspray that I always like using, and I used that to spray around my hairline and down the sides of my face, just to give it an extra dimensional look, and just to kind of make it look like it's peering out the shadows. Then I took some Meybelline Eye Studio Lasting Drama Gel Eyeliner for the waterline of both my eyes, just to make them look really deep set and dark. And then finally I was able to go in with a black watercolour again and just shade my jawline a little bit to make the smile look like it's protruding a bit more than it actually is. And I just took that colour again and just made my brow a little bit angrier by tracing the brow furrows I've got of this new prosthetic. So then it's just a case of me painting my neck and chest area, popping in my contacts and my wig. For the chest area, it's nothing particularly special. I just used the Snazaroo Clown White to paint my neck and my chest, and then took the black hairspray and just went down the sides of my neck and sprayed where my collarbone area is from a distance, just to make it look a bit more textured and pretty creepy, really. I decided last minute to do one extra thing. I took some white hairspray, made a V shape with my hands, just to spray lightly in the middle of my head, just to give me a sort of widow's peak that the photo seems to have. And there we go. So I finished the look off by popping in 2 sclera lenses from eyesbright.com. I'll pop the link in the description bar below. They're called their Medusa lenses. I popped on a wig because the photo does seem like he's got this really fine, raggedy looking black hair. And I popped on 2 little wolf ears, which you don't have to do. I just thought it'd be funny. I don't know. It's just me being silly. And yeah. So, and I also painted down the sides of my grin with some black watercolour just to make it look extra pointing up. It was not particularly anything special. It kind of adds to the illusion a little bit. So yeah, that's my Smile.Dog tutorial. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you all so much for watching. If you like it, please make sure to, the usual rate, comment, subscribe and all that jazz. And yeah, so until next time. Bye.